Hello and welcome to Sharp Smoker Electronic Cigarettes. In this video I want to go over the Ego-C electronic cigarette. So I'll open it up here and look what we got inside. On the top here you've got your two complete electronic cigarettes, well almost complete. We'll go over that in a second. We'll go ahead and take one of these out, check out the different components of it. When you first get it, the first thing you can do is pull off this cartridge. As you can see, this cartridge does not have a cap on it. So basically this is just garbage now. It's just a cap to kind of protect the other pieces when you get it. So you can just take that and set it aside. Next thing we got here is the atomizer cover. Take a glance through that. The next piece on here is the atomizer base, which this piece is just like this. This is where the atomizer head will go. And then of course you just got the threads here on the bottom. Final piece here is the Ego battery. This is a manual push button battery, so you got the push button right here. Push the button, battery lights up. This has a locking feature. The way to lock it is you just press the button 5 times rapidly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll blink. And then now when I press the button it doesn't light up. That means the battery is locked. Anytime you're not using your electronic cigarette, you can go ahead and lock the battery, and that way if you stick it in your pocket, you don't accidentally bump against the button and turn your electronic cigarette on when it's in your pocket. To unlock, again, 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It blinks, and now when I press, the light lights up. So that's your battery. Then you've got your other electronic cigarette right here. Below this, you've got the rest of the pieces. You've got your user manual. And make sure you read through this before using your electronic cigarette for the first time. And then in here you've got your atomizer heads, which are these pieces right here. You've got 5 of these in here. And then you've also got the tank cartridges. As you can see, these ones have the cap on them. The caps are very easy. They're a rubbery material. To fill them up, you just pop the cap off, drip the e-liquid in, put the cap back on. I recommend leaving about 1/8 of an inch gap here, because when you press this on, it does take up some of the space. And if you fill this to the very tip top, when you push this on, it's going to all kind of try and ooze out on you. So I'd fill it up, leave about 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch air space up at the top there when you put the e-liquid in. Put the cap back on. And of course you've got your charger. You've got the wall adapter piece right here, and then the USB charger. The way this works, take the battery, screw it into this end, like so. And then you can take this and plug it into your computer, or if you got a power pack or something, or you can simply plug this into the wall adapter and then plug this portion into the wall to charge your batteries. Pretty simple. Alright, so let's go over how to put this thing together when you first get it. What you want to do is take out one of your atomizer heads. Take it out of the little wrapper here. And then take the base, which is this piece right here. And you can see the atomizer head has a little rubbery material right here on the bottom. It basically just kind of helps hold it in place there. So you can just stick it on. And then next take your cap here, your cone cover, and just screw it right on top. Screw it all the way down. Then look inside. You can see the atomizer base fits right into the round portion on the atomizer cone cover. So this is your assembled atomizer. Next thing all you got to do is screw it onto the battery, and then you're almost ready to go. Next thing you'll do, of course, is fill up one of your cartridges. As discussed before, leave a little bit of airspace when you're filling up the cartridges. And then you're going to take the cartridge, push it onto the atomizer. Make sure you push it all the way down. And that's going to puncture this little middle seal here. And that'll allow the e-liquid to be absorbed through the atomizer base down into the heating coil. But that's how you assemble the Ego-C electronic cigarettes. The next portion is just continue to watch this video for more information on using your Ego-C electronic cigarette. Okay, so you want to know how to fill the tank atomizer. It's very simple. Let's go over this real quick. Here's your mega tank atomizer. Basically what your first thing you want to do, pop off the cap here. You can see it's a little bit of a rubbery texture, which provides a nice seal. Set the cap piece down. Open up your bottle of your favorite e-liquid. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill this up, standing on its end like this. But you want to try to aim, you want to not fill it to the very tip top. Otherwise, when you put this cap back on, it's going to want to ooze out all over the place. So what we're going to do is fill it up to about just below this little lip here. You can see this got a little lip. So maybe like about 1/4 of an inch from the top is where we're going to stop filling it with e-liquid. And you can gauge that, of course, by looking at the side as you fill it. So I'm just going to go ahead and start dripping e-liquid in here. And I'm going to stop right there. I can't tip it on the side right now so that you can see where I stopped, but I stopped about 1/4 of an inch from the top. Then simply take this cap right here, stick it back on, and voila. Now you can see that is, as when I put the cap on, it looks like it's completely full, but it's not. I left that little gap in there, which is just the perfect amount to put this cap back on without it starting to ooze out all over the sides. As you can see, it's not oozing anywhere. It's completely dry, completely clean. Had you filled it to the very top, when you put this cap on, it would have gone all over the place. So just make sure you leave about 1/4 of an inch from the top when you're filling these tank cartridges with e-liquid, unless you want them to get all over you. Alright, in this portion of the video, we're going to go over to how to prime your Ego-C atomizer for the first time. First things first, let's put it together. Take your atomizer base, take the head, stick it on right there, screw the cover on, and now we've got it fully assembled. Let me adjust the focus here. Well, that's pretty good. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a bottle of e-liquid and our fully assembled atomizer, and we're going to open the top. Now what we're trying to do here is, you can see basically what we want to do is just drip about 3 or 4 drops directly onto that metal probe part of the atomizer head. What this is going to do is it's going to go ahead and get a decent amount of e-liquid down to the coil, so that when we stick our cartridge on, we won't have to let it sit there and wait for about 5 minutes. Because normally if you don't prime it, the best thing to do is stick the cartridge on there and give it about 5 minutes so that it can start sucking e-liquid down into the heating coil. This just alleviates that process. So what we're going to do is take our bottle and we're going to drip right into the center of the atomizer about 3 or 4 drops. And you'll see as you do this, it's going to be very hard to see on the video, but it's going to actually, as soon as it drips there, it's going to be sucked down into the atomizer base, which is exactly what we want. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Perfect. Basically, you'll know if you put too much, it's going to start pulling up here at the top. So usually about 4 drops is perfect to get it nice and primed. And that's all there is to priming the atomizer. You'll want to do that anytime that you change the atomizer heads, because they do come completely dry. This also makes it, that way you can fill it with whatever flavor you want. You won't have to worry about a mixing of the flavors. So 4 drops directly on. Then of course you'll just simply screw it onto your battery, put on a cartridge, a filled cartridge of course, and then you'll be ready to go. And that's all there is to priming your Ego-C atomizers. Right, on the Ego-C electronic cigarette, one thing that a few people have noticed on this the cartridge here, if you push the cartridge all the way down like super tight onto the atomizer, sometimes when you go to use the electronic cigarette, it won't produce, basically it seems like it's not producing vapor. The way it is, the rubber seal here on the Ego-C, because of the way where the the chamber is located, when you push this all the way down, sometimes it actually forms a seal around so that no air can get through. All you got to do is back this off just the tiniest little bit, and it'll create a nice amount of airflow and also make your vapor production much better.